So far in our colors, we have looked at using names. So if I were to say body and had background color pink, I save that, and your background's pink. You could do light blue and save it, and then you get a light blue. So there's a ton of colors that you could do that are named. But what if I wanted some color in between? I can't really write slightly blue, but slightly pink, save it, and it just goes back to white. It has no idea what that is. That's not a real color. So what we would do instead would be go to this, erase whatever you have in there, RGB, red, green, blue, parenthesis, and you get a 0, 0, 0. And if I were to save that, you notice that it turns black. That's because there's 0 color. So if I change this one to 255, you're going to see that we're green. So how does this work? This is the depiction of what RGB is. So there's red up here, there's green over here, and there's blue. So if there is 255 green, which is right here, and then no red and no blue, then it's going to be green. And then as you add other colors, so say you add some blue, and you had 0 red, 125 green, and 125 blue, you're going to end up right around here. And then as you add red, you're going to kind of go towards the middle. And notice, when you have all three, it's white. When you have none of them, it's black. When you have all of them, it's white. Which is kind of weird, but the scale works. So another way to look at this is background color, RGB, and then your first number is red, your second number is green, and your third color is blue, and that would be black. And then putting all the colors in, 255, 255, 255, would be white. So the number is on the scale of 0 to 255. So let's play around with this. So we saw that 255 with 0 and 0 was green. Let's try putting green and blue. And then on that scale, we're going to get like a light greenish blue, a turquoise. I'm actually partially colorblind, so I have no idea what color that is. But you can kind of get an idea of what's going on by playing around with this. You see it's slightly lighter. You can easily Google some different charts. So I Googled HEX color, or not HEX, RGBA color charts. And it gave me this chart here, which you can kind of see yellow is, yellow is 255, 255, 0. So what you can do is just go and say, I wanted that color, so I want 255, 255, 0. I save. I look at our project, and then we got yellow. So you have this chart, and it'll kind of give you an idea of how to grab all the colors. And I'm sure there's tons of them, HTML color codes. So you see this RGB here. You get different colors based on your sliding around. There. Now notice there's two options. There's RGB and there's HEX. There's also HSL, which we're going to talk about the HEX. We don't often use HSL, so we're not going to go over that, but we will talk about the HEX. But before that, there is another number in your RGBA that you can use. It is possible to also change the opacity of your box. So I'm going to add another div. I'm going to give it a class of box and close that up. And I'm going to put inside, I am a box. I'll save that, and that's a box. So inside here, I'm going to do box with a dot because I use class. And I'm going to give it a height of 200 pixels, and then we will give it a width of 200 pixels. So now we have this box, and to prove that it's there, let's do a border 1 pixel solid blue. So there's your box. So in this box, I'm going to do a background color, and I'm going to give it RGBA 255, because it's going to be red and 0 and 0. It'll just be a red box. So there's our red box. Now you notice I've actually said RGBA a couple times. That is because you can actually add in A here, and you can add the opacity of your color. And it goes between a 0.0 and a 1 scale. So let's start at 1.5, and you notice that now it's almost orange because it's half red and yellow, so you can kind of see through it. And then if we were to do 8, it's deeper, and then 1, it's completely red. So you can kind of have a see-through type of thing. Say you had an image and you kind of wanted to fade out a little bit and see text under it. There's different uses for it. Just be aware that it's there, and then later on you'll see that we kind of use that more and more as time goes on. So let's take a look at hexadecimal, or hex. The format is going to be pound RR green GG BB, which is red, green, blue, in that order. It goes from 00 to FF, whereas RGB went 0 to 255. So 00 being the lowest number and FF being the highest, that means that FFFFF, I don't know how the F size just said, but it should be 6, that is white. So 000000 is black. So let's see that in action. So instead of using the RGBA, I'm going to switch this over to using pound FFFFFF. Save that, and then we're going to see a white box. So if I just picked a random number, 0FF0022, save that, I get red. Pretty cool. Now, there are going to be sites out there, like I said, that you can use different hex. Let's do something cool here. Let's take out this box and let's copy it a few times. Let's make 5 of them. So there's 1. So I just copied it with the Shift Alt Down key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to save that, and we have 5 boxes. And I'm actually going to make them a lot smaller. Let's take the height 50 pixels. And I'm going to get rid of that border. So there's that, and then I'm going to change this first one. I'm going to make F8A195. Let's do that. It's kind of a cool color. And what I'm going to do, actually, instead of this, I'm going to copy this out of there. And I'm going to change that to just white. And what let's do instead, I'm going to make these boxes 1 through. So I'm going to have that box 1, 2, 3, which we really haven't discussed this before. So basically what I'm doing is you can have multiple classes on your elements. So we're just having, they're all going to be using the box class, so they'll all still be the same size, but they're also going to have their own color class on each one, which I'm going to add, and that's going to be the 1 through 5. So in here, instead of having the color in there, I'm just going to go in and type 1 and background color, and I'm going to make that the color I was using before. Pound. I'm actually going to make this B and put a semicolon and save that. So see, our first box had changed colors. So I'm going to put in the other colors, and I'm going to pause it so you don't have to watch me struggle through this. So I went through and I put each color into the box, and you can kind of see it makes a cool little pattern, and we have a color scheme that we could use for our website. You could even just make them full size and have the whole website look like that, which would be pretty cool. So let's say I made this 100%. If I could type. So if you made that the entire thing and we got rid of the border, it would actually look pretty cool. Let's make this 100 pixels. Oh, about 10, 1 and 100. So you could actually have that as a full background if you really wanted to. Get rid of the H1. So there's some built-in CSS, which we'll eventually talk about. That's why you're seeing a border here. So basically the body has a margin. So they say, you know, margin 0, and then border 0. And so now we're going to have that. So it looks pretty cool. Anyways, play around with these colors. We're going to be doing a lot more with cool colors and backgrounds and fading in and out later on. But for now, just play around with this, and we will hop into the next section.